You're so chill, Mr. Benja. But you know who is not chill, Mr. Benja? Meta Business.
Zuck.
They about that money, man. Money. I think I put this out there for you. You're more of a Threads user than I. But how do you feel about ads coming to Threads next year? That's the rumor.
If they're like Instagram ads or Facebook ads, I'm like, okay, that's in the ballpark of what I'm okay with. I'm good. X ads are just like bad. Hey, buy this gold coin with Donald Trump's face on it. And you're like, why would I buy that?
This is Show versus Business, where pop culture meets pop money, with your host, the real Theo Harvey and Mr. Benja. So, Mr. Benja, what's been going on?
Man, I was talking to a friend and she wasn't feeling so great. And I was like, man, she's not feeling so great. Talking to another friend, family member was like, yeah, I'm not feeling so great. And I was like, is it the end of the year of blues? Something happening? I don't know. But people weren't feeling that great. But I think we're feeling great. After the Tyson debacle, he showed his ass, as you saw from the thumbnail last week. I gotta do something about that thumbnail. It's bothering me. But it looks like we're gonna round the year out pretty good, man. Even though things seem a little tense and everything, things are still happening. Things are still going good. Streaming has been changing, doing some updates. We might get into that a little bit. There's this whole new streaming vibe from Twitch, Kai Cenat, Emily CC, AI influencers. Things are changing and things are happening. And what I'm getting at is this is usually a weird time when you're settling into new technologies or settling into new ways of doing things, and everything feels weird and people are anxious. But I think that's actually a good thing. So I've just been mulling over that this week. We're probably going to get into a lot of that. Pokemon Go made some news. AI and Instagram made some news, new Kendrick album and stuff. So we'll get into some things. But how was your week?
Man, my week was interesting, man. We always talk about our shared love of our alma mater, that is Florida A&M University, the highest of 7 hills, Rattler Pride. I had the opportunity not to go to homecoming. We talked about that in a previous episode, but I had the opportunity to go to the Classic, which for those that haven't been to an HBCU, right? What happens is, in historically Black college university, what happens is the football team, in an effort, in the university really, in the effort to make money, they have these things called Classics, where they show up in some random city and just host another HBCU football game. And it brings money and enthusiasm and frats and sororities into town, and everybody gets excited. And it's been going on for as long as you and I can remember, right? I mean, at least as long as these universities have been around. They can't just have a normal like bowl game or just a normal, hey, we're just going to visitors location to go play them in football. No, we're just gonna pick some random cities. So they have the Circle City Classic. I don't know if that still goes on, but that's in Indianapolis.
The Bayou Classic.
Yes, I think that's the one that most people may be familiar with. But if you haven't heard about the FAMU BCU Classic, man, this is the one. So when I first moved down to Florida, I didn't know anything about HBCUs. I had moved from California, and I went to the one here in Tampa, Florida, and I was blown away. And they said it was around halftime, and I said, okay, let me go to the concession stand. Then my aunt put her hand on my arm and said, "Don't you dare." I was like, what? She said,
yes,
halftime is when the game really starts. I was like, what? And so then you had the battle of the bands. And to my amazement, you had guys dressed up as drum majors with the big hats and the capes flowing, gyrating on the field with their sticks and their batons and leaning back until their head touches the ground. Then you had people with tubas and big drums, trying to do the Cuban shuffle. You just like, what am I watching? And so to me, that was my experience of going to the first Classic. It had to be 30 years ago. And so I had the chance. I say all that to say, Mr. Benja, I had the chance to go to the Classic this past weekend and thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, man. That was my experience.
You can't underestimate, you can't undersell, you can't underemphasize the point about the halftime show, because I think people still have it upside down and twisted. They think the game is important. No. It's the halftime show. I remember halftime shows where somewhere in the second quarter, people would just be like, ho, ho, ho. All right, let me know what happens in the game. I'm getting nachos, some drinks. I'm going downstairs, going to the bathroom. Let me know what y'all want. Pew, in the middle of the game. Doesn't matter what's happening. Could be an interception. Guy got hurt. Doesn't matter. Running out, getting all their snacks for the halftime show. Halftime show. People were piling it back in their seats. Wait a minute, I thought these seats were empty. No, people from other parts of the stadium moved into your section. They're crowding the aisles. It just got crazy. It got nuts. I even got a few numbers in that during the halftime show. It was like a club up in the stands.
Yes, it is that wild if you've never been to HBCU halftime show, especially the classic when you have an event where families who like basically it's set in Florida. Both those schools are in Florida. So you have BCU alumni coming, FAMU alumni coming, and they're in the stands. So you got the old Rattler heads that have green and orange from the top of their head to their shoes. And then you got the fraternities and sororities out there stepping. But then it's all about the band. And you're right. It was a good game, actually. It was pretty close. FAMU pulled it out. But I was watching the game. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. We had good seats, too, on the 50-yard line. But yes, around first quarter, me and the missus said, all right, let's walk around. So we walked around watching the game while walking around. And then I think we were sitting at the bar. I was like, oh, we got to get back to our seats. She said, what? Because she didn't go to a HBCU. I'm illuminating her on how this works. And then also, Mr. Benja, have you been in that environment too, where you're back in the HBCU environment and you like, there's some things I got to get done and you just got to start moving. She saw this different side to me. I said, look, this is what you do at HBCU. They said you couldn't get in this gate, but I can go this other gate. So let's move. And she's like, what? You got to go. Come on. You can't just stand there and be like, what now? No. When you go to a black college, let's be honest, you got to move, man. You know that feeling, Mr. Benji. You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, man, they might have 10 to 20 slots for a guy to be like, yeah, all right. But then at some point, you try to walk through and they put a hand on your chest. Not you. But he just went through. Not you. Don't get tossed out of this game. And you just got to be like, all right, look to the left, look to the right, see if there's another one you can run to. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
a whole
Wow, you brought back that part of the game, man. That's great.
Yeah, because you get in that mode again. You're like, oh, this is what I gotta do. So one of the first missions, so we get there, it was cool, and they walking around, and okay, we're gonna get some food. So I said, let's get the first food we see. Let's see what else is out there. So I said, okay. So she sees the band like crossing the street or whatever. And I saw the band was almost done. So I just started walking in the middle of the street. She said, what's going on? I said, go before the crowd comes. We got to move.
First move, like, baby.
Baby, that's the number one rule, HBCU world, man. Then we went to the fan experience. Come to find out, my wife didn't bring a clear bag, right, to get into the stadium. Now,
right.
You have to have clear bags, right? So she has a coach bag. I have to put it out there, but she was just, I'd leave this. I said, okay, we got it. First mission, we got to find a clear bag. So I'm going to this fan experience, right? I go to all the places, no clear bags in sight, man. You go to the Disney station. So if you don't know, they have all these corporate sponsors trying to do what they call activations, trying to get people engaged just to sign up for some email list. Yeah. So they give you a clear bag. They give you some, Publix was there. They gave you, I guess they were giving people apple slices. I don't know. People stand in line for apple slices. But so I'm looking for clear bags. I see them everywhere, man. And I'm like, they're all gone. I'm just shaking my head. We can't get to this game without clear bags. So luckily I found one place. Yeah, I found one place. They were giving away bags. So I said, you get one, I get one. So I got one, she got one. The clear bag, she took our stuff out of her purse and put it in the clear bag for her. But the other bag didn't fit her big bag. Her big coach bag couldn't fit the little small bag. I said, oh crap, what are we gonna do now? So I'm like, let's find a clear bag somewhere and just put it in there. It's not an official clear bag, but we're going to just dump it in there and then see if we can get through the gates. Luckily, my wife went in. Everything's fine. Her clear bag. I'm coming in. My clear bag is not officially a clear bag, and it has a bag inside of it, right? Number one, it looks like a trash bag with just her coach bag inside, right? And so when they try to stop me, they say, hold on. You can't bring that in here. I look, man, it's empty. I'm dumping it out. It's empty. There's nothing in here. Look, I'm trying to follow the rules. And they looked at me. Gone. So I was like, yes. HBCU world, man. I was back, man. I was back in my mode, man. This is what I learned, man. The hustle.
Bro.
Either you. I told her the two rules of HBCU world is number one, you try to get around the loophole in the rule. If you can't do that, then you got to show them intent that you tried to follow the rule, and then you got a chance.
Man, I remember, dude. You bring back memories, man. I remember I got into a spot because I promised the dude I'd go visit his cousin's barbecue stand or something. I'm like, man, I can't do this. Where can we get something to eat? My cousin down the way. I'm like, your cousin? Hey, man, I'll get some barbecue and all that. We talked for a second. He dapped me up. It was just an honor system, but he was like, all right, yeah, you're going to help my cousin out. I'm like, I'm going to check him out. And it was just, it's that kind of thing.
Wait. Did you? Question, did you?
I can't even remember. Back in those nights, it was like 5 hours of sleep or something. You go to homecoming and you last the whole weekend on 5 hours of sleep. It's like, all right.
Yeah. But man, ultimately, I'm glad I went. I heard a lot of good things about homecoming. I think it was 30-year anniversary since we started in '94. So I was talking to my business partner. He said, "Oh, I had a great time." And okay, I want to experience that again. So me and the missus was only about an hour and a half down the road, and so we really had a good time, man. I'm glad I went, man. I didn't see anybody I really knew, but it was just good to be around that environment again. So yeah, that was my experience. Yeah, I got some video, man. I'll show it to you, man. I'll send it to you, man. Maybe we'll put it out there. If you don't know, so these type of show bands, they do integrate dances, of course. We talked about the gyrating thing, so I saw a lot of that. And they go back and forth and mess with each other. One of the things I saw was interesting. FAMU made a guy sweeping the trash and said that was BCU. I was like, okay, there you go. And then BCU came out and they basically, this is a classic one. We've seen this all. They turned FAMU, they put FAMU on the field and they turned it into Scam U. So it's typical stuff. But I don't know if you heard, Mr.Benja, but that there was some intricate things about our financial situation, about what our ex-president did around accepting a check that wasn't legitimate. So yeah. So anyway, FAMU, man, is going through some interesting times right now. But so BCU, I have to say, they guys, and plus they play more modern music where they played Not Like Us. And then so it's BCU got us this time, but we got them on the football game, which no one cared about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So man, that brings back good memories, man, and I'm glad to hear that because last week I was just chilling. I let me tell you what happened. I was doing my affirmations, and for a while now I've been doing them in the form of I have blank, or I am this, or I do this, or I push to whatever. It's me and then a verb, like I do something, I'm about something, I am something, that kind of setup. But I realized that that's not how I affirm things when I'm in the midst of it. If I'm in the midst of doing something, I don't sit there and tell myself, yes, I am a writer, so I'm going to write. There's this other voice in my head that's, man, write another page. And you're just like, okay. When I wrote down my affirmations one morning, instead of saying I am and doing the identity thing, I spoke from that other voice and was like, get up and go to work. Do this and do that. Do this and do that. Don't be a punk. Let's read your things. Finish your affirmations. You took too long last time. Do them faster. And it was just like this other voice of me I let take over and write all my affirmations. And then at the end of it, I was like, man, that guy's right. I should get to work. I should do this. So it's a weird thing, but I just totally had a different way of writing my affirmations, and I'm going to do it for all of 2025. It got me into thinking about next year and everything, chilling out a lot more with my emotions and how I tackle things. And that was basically my past week, man, just really settling into, okay, this is where we are now in the world. And in the midst of all this, and James is going to like this because he sent the email, I came across the chill guy meme. I don't even know if I want to identify with the chill guy, because you know how these things can get. You identify with the meme, and next thing you know, you're part of you're on the bad side of things. Yeah, have you heard of
find
this?
out the chill guy meme? he's a proud boy, right? He
Yeah,
can throw
exactly.
proud boy signals up.
No,
I
but
haven't heard of it till you basically, James, our editor, mentioned it. And so it sounds like you didn't know what he was talking about. So yeah, tell me more.
yeah, I don't know much here, and I know I hesitate. I don't want to have my face on top of the chill guy's body, but maybe I think I just set myself up for that. Um, so yeah, this is it's this laid back dog character. It's a dog. He's got a dog head, but he's a human. He's got his hands in his pocket, and he's just chill. Basically, it's all about the idea that this guy low key doesn't give a blank. He's just chilling. So people are using the post. Hey, you know what? Everybody's doing all this crazy stuff and coding like this. I'm just like, hey, I'll just make a website in HTML. You guys can deal with all the rest of that. Hey, oh, you guys are arguing over this and that and this. But you know what? I'm not even going to go to that restaurant. I'm just going to order in some pizza. Be chill about it. So it's unfortunately, I think this is it's starting to go weird, is because it's starting to go into the crypto community and about certain types of dudes on the internet. Hey, I made a lot of awful decisions, but I'm not worried about it because I'm chill. I'm like, hey, I'm not saying make awful decisions and just not care. It's very weird, but I'm chill.
I love it. I love it. Hey, because I think we have entered, we will talk about it in our end of year extravaganza, but this has been a year of anxiousness because of the what's it, the quarter years, right? The 2020s, the 2024s, right? It's like
Yeah.
every 4 years, we always have a lot of stuff going on between the Olympics, presidential election. And so
Hey,
there was just a lot of built up anxiety. And so I was looking at the origins of when this chill guy meme started popping up October 4th, about a month before the election. Sounds about right. People feel very anxious. It's just you get to a point. Human beings are just not meant to have that much anxiety inside their system, and so you just have to just give it all up and just be chill with it. And also, Mr. Ben, just thinking about that, I wonder if that's just a function of, because I was thinking like, man, I've chilled out a lot, even in the last 4 years. I used to be just really anal about stuff. People not doing what I said. Let's call them right now. Tell them what I think. Now I'm just like, yeah, I'll write it down. And then I'll look at my email. I'll write it down so it's just at least out of my head. And I'll wake up the next morning and say, okay, do I really want to send this or not? To send in my drafts? Nah, I think I'll wait for it. So I think it's also maybe a function of age, just getting a little bit more wisdom of how to look at things from different perspectives. And so, I'm a big proponent of that, man. Especially, you can't keep everything in your head no more. It's too crazy.
You were there long before I was, but I'm gonna challenge you to go as hard as I am on this chill theme, because oh man, I feel great. But yeah, chill out, figure out what's got you agitated and what's not. And I mentioned that I wrote down a note that on this index card that fell to the side of my desk here, and I got to actually read it to you now.
Okay.
I got this from bouncing around to different people online talking about mental health, and I don't have where it came from, so I apologize for that. But someone said the quality of your emotions defines the quality of your life. And I remember that hitting me, because it's no matter how good or bad life you think you have, if all your emotions are all twisted up, you're bad, you feel upset, you've got just a series of bad emotions covering your life, then that's the quality of your life ultimately. That just stuck with me, and that reminded me of the chill guy. And I'm chill, man. What else you got to talk about?
Man, you so chill, Mr. Benja. But you know who is not chill, Mr. Benja?
Uh-oh.
Meta Business.
Uh-oh. Zuck.
They about that money, man. Money. I think I put this out there for you. You're more of a Threads user than I. But how do you feel about ads coming to Threads next year? That's the rumor.
I don't suppose they'll be as obnoxious as X ads, so I'm good. I don't mind the Instagram ads.
One can hope. One can hope.
Yeah. But no, it's if they're like Instagram ads or Facebook ads, I'm like, okay, that's in the ballpark of what I'm okay with. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
X ads are just like bad kind of, hey, buy this gold coin with Donald Trump's face on it, standing on a beach, and you're like, why would I buy that? I don't know. But I expect there's going to be some weirdness, but the X kind of weirdness annoys me.
It's just now that Bitcoin is near $100,000. That's just the thing I don't like. It's just here comes old scamalicious folks, man. The old Bitcoin bros, man. They're back in effect, man. I thought this thing was dead, man, with the FTX founder going to jail. But no, these guys are coming back. So yes, you're going those those X or Twitter ads are going to be and also because Elon Musk is in the bankroll of President Donald Trump, or President-elect Donald Trump. Yeah, I'm unfortunate. I think we're going to see more of that. But as far as threads, man, if you look at the numbers, 275 million monthly users, and they're signing roughly about 1 million users per day. I think Zuck has a winner finally, right? This is something that was homegrown too, so that's interesting. So they're finally getting some good traction on another platform. So you think about Zuck, he's got Instagram with the video platform. He's got the threads with the with the text-based platform. He's got WhatsApp with communication text-based messaging. Yep. So it's just kind of like, wow, he doesn't have a real long form strategy Google has with YouTube, but I definitely think he has a good sense of what's out there, what he can do. Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see what Zuck does with this new ad platform that he can put out there. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. See how this all plays out. Because did you see it? We didn't put this in the show notes, but you saw that the government wants Google to give up Chrome, their browser. You saw that?
No, I didn't see that one. I remember they've been talking about breaking up Alphabet somehow and Google somehow, but I didn't know that was one of the moves they want to do.
Yeah, man. So Google's getting hit on all sides. So obviously they got the browser hit. We know rumors were that OpenAI is trying to go after the browser. So I don't know if anytime you Google search now, AI recommendation comes up. It's amazing to me. I love it. I actually go to that first sometimes. Cut all this BS. I don't want to look for all that. I don't look for no I'm not looking for no website to go look to. Some blog post that was created by AI. It just summarizes what you're searching for. So they're really are pushing. What's their model? The Google platform?
Gemini?
Is it Bing? Gemini. Thank you. So they're really pushing that inside, integrated into their platforms. So yeah, kudos to them. So they're getting pushed to get rid of Chrome. They're getting competitors coming into their browser space. Obviously, search is, they own search, Google. So it's one of those things where they have to play in that space. And then here's Facebook, right? They're just meandering along with what they have and trying to find, hey, we still got pockets. We don't have search. We don't have a phone. Remember, they were trying to do a phone at one time. Mm-hmm. But we do have Instagram. We do have WhatsApp. We do have threads now. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting. If they can, you got to think to me with Meta, they've got so many people in their ecosystem. Like the way they launched Threads was just like, hey, you've got an Instagram account, bam, you've got a Threads account. That was pretty awesome in the way it happened. Just suddenly they just have all these people interacting and using very quickly. If they released a game platform, not a console necessarily, but if they've said, hey, listen, we want to take all these people and have a big online game that you can download, and if you just log in with your Instagram account or your Quest account or your Facebook account or whichever account you started with, or your Threads account, that's intriguing. You know what I mean? And it's a version of what they tried with Facebook games, where you started playing a game and all of a sudden you were connected to all your friends who were playing the game. So
like Farmville back in the day, and what was the other one?
Mafia Wars,
Mafia Wars, yep.
Yeah, and so it's very intriguing. Think about that for any type of application where instead of creating an application or a product or service and then have your audience go to it, you take your audience and dump them into this application or dump them into this service. It's just like the service is pancakes, so you just coming in, pouring the people on top of it. Yeah, this is good.
Good analogy, man. I love it. It's so true, man. It's the top thing with business, man, is how do you scale easily? How do you get more customers? And customer acquisition cost is huge. So these social media guys have figured it out a long time ago by scamalicious ways to grow their network. You think about the Craigslist, the Airbnb guys, remember how they scaled up initially. they use Craigslist, right, to kind
Oh
of
yeah,
get out
yeah,
there,
that's right.
yeah,
That's
and to
right.
get this. What was the other one? Uber found a hack around the Apple phone to find a way to get connected to people or find where they are and stuff like that. So yeah, man, it's if you can find a cheap way to kind of get as many people as possible, because I'm experiencing that now. Man, trying to grow my business, I'm like, man, it's tough because obviously you can do one by one, but it takes a lot of convincing, talking to people, and people have their own opinions. You're like, well, crap. Is there a better way to just amass more people faster? And social
Yeah.
media folks have cornered the market on that a lot of times because of the social map they create and things like that. Yeah, man, it's interesting to see where this goes in the next couple of years, Mr. Benja. One of the things I did want to talk about too, since we're talking about this, unless there was something else you wanted to
Yeah, yeah,
mention
yeah.
about meta business.
I did want to jump in on that. An interesting play that happened just recently was with Stephen King. Stephen King, I don't know how planned and how orchestrated it was by his team or how organic it was just because of what he wanted to do. But he's been big on X for a while. And he says in this post, I'm leaving Twitter, tried to stay, but the atmosphere has just become too toxic. Follow me on Threads if you like. That's, oh, okay. And that's his only post now. So I guess he deleted every other post he had. That's his only post. I'm leaving Twitter. I'm on Threads. You hop over to Threads, and it was one of Threads' first major trending topics. And the topic was simply Stephen King.
Mm.
Dude, Stephen King was on there with 2 or 3 posts like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Stephen King. I'm here on Threads now. Say hi." Everybody, of course, is commenting, right? He starts going in people's comments all over Threads. If you mention Stephen King or you mention one of his
Mm-hmm.
books and everything, hey, you saw Misery. Yeah, that was great casting, wasn't it? And he's just up in everyone's comments, and people are freaking out on Threads. Oh my gosh, Stephen King's up in my comments. I don't know if it's actually him or he's just got a team of people and he's sitting around like dictating, yeah, say this to that person or say this. I don't know. But it was pretty masterful how he showed up and just became a trending topic on Threads in an hour.
I love it, man. There you go. I think that's also the other case in marketing. If you're already big, when you move to another platform, you stay big, right? So you're Stephen King, you're already a brand name. It's just easy for you to amass followers pretty quickly and do
Yeah.
what you need to do. So kudos to Stephen King and moving to Threads. Anything else on the meta business and what they're trying to do there in the topic space?
Nah, we'll hear enough about Meta later.
Oh yeah, definitely. One thing I did want to bring up, we Meta and AI, we talked about they're going to this kind of open AI exists, but we all know that their algorithm is closed. But Meta's trying to create an open algorithm right around AI, so make it more open to folks to understand like what they're training the AI on, the algorithm on, so we can understand it better. So one of the things that's interesting is like what's happening right now with AI. Maybe we'll do this in the beginning of the year. But one of the predictions I had for AI was just this rising case of influencer hijacking, right? Basically, we're going to see more and more AIs take advantage of the influencer market by becoming influencers themselves. And so people are going to be following AI and not actual human beings. And I think I see the canary in the coal mine, Mr. Benja. I did some data research I saw this Wired article that I sent to you over the week about how Instagram influencers are deep faking their faces onto real women's bodies. So basically, these are tech bros basically coming up with ways to find real women, right? Basically, performers. Let's call them women that know how to perform in interesting poses on the internet.
Yeah.
In places called Cornhub. But so yes, they would basically superimpose or create new AI images of faces on real bodies. And so now the performers are getting upset because wait a minute, that's me in some aspect, but
Yeah.
you're not using my face. I'm not getting credited for it. And they said these type of accounts are proliferating on the internet, right? Instagram is not stopping at all. Or Instagram, yes, is not stopping at all. This is more the canary in the coal mine for me that the ultimate AI influencer taking over for the human influencer will be a thing in not too near future. But what are your thoughts on that, Mr. Benja?
This is what I throw into the category of strange new world, where we're really stepping into something that we can't mentally understand, and we don't have a way to recognize or become cognizant of, yes, this is going to happen. Everybody is just going to be talking noise. You've got to think that we're going into an era where it's projected that children will be talking to AI more than, if not as much as they talk to regular people.
Wow.
You start, like right now, we give children the iPad, the YouTube, the iPhone or whatever, and just say, here, watch this. There are already agents, not like Mr. Smith agents, but like Mr. Smith agents.
Yes,
Yeah,
might as well be.
exactly. That you pick up your phone and ask, hi, would you like to play a game? Oh, let's talk and da da da. Oh, let's do this. And hey, let's learn our ABCs together. Your child is going to become friends with this tutor, this after school buddy, this video game partner, this person who can talk to you about Sesame Street after you watch Sesame Street, whatever. But they're going to be talking to, in the same way we weren't used to people touching the screens. Like you ever see kids just go around touching screens to see if it interacts. They're going to be talking to things to see if it talks back. And there's going to be a lot of stuff that will. So what do I think about it? Geez, man, I just don't know. And we got to watch out for it. I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, man, I don't want to talk to some people in real life. I might be one of those guys who kind of like give me a new version of Clippy. Put Clippy up there.
Go back to Clippy.
Clippy 2000, Clippy 2025. I want to talk to him.
Oh, Clippy 2025 is bitter, boy. He might be malicious. Say some crazy slick things to you. Yeah, man. The Roblox, that's been the bane of some parents' experiences.
Mhm.
Roblox, there have been rumors, and my kids playing Roblox and stuff about how Roblox was allowing some of the AI to get away, but also having some quite frankly, some interesting folks, not savory individuals talking to kids and portraying themselves in different formats. So we already know that's the inherent nature of internet, right? You really don't know who you're talking to, right? That could be, you think it's a cute girl from in Indiana, but it's actually a 225-pound linebacker, right, in California. So you just don't know, right? Because it's just all kind of anonymous. And now you got an extra thing where you're having someone program algorithms to pretend that they're people. And so layers and layers of untruthfulness. And so that's going to get mixed when we're talking to people. So yeah, this is just more the canary in the coal mine when it comes to AI and stuff. And, look, AI going bad. I think we have some more stories around AI going bad overall. I know you picked some stuff. What have you seen?
In terms of AI going bad, there's so many to pick from. The thing that actually concerns me is when I get really happy that I've talked to an AI and gotten what I wanted out of it, as opposed to talking to a real person. And this happened when I got on a chat bot. I needed help with one of my services, and I go to the website. I'm trying to call somebody, and it says, "Hey, if you don't want to wait, just try the chat bot." And I'm like, "All right." Last time I tried a chat bot, it was terrible. Yeah. Man, I got on this thing. It was like, "Listen, I'm having a problem with this. I can't fix this." And they say I need to send in a form. I already sent in the form. What's your problem? Oh, hey, Mr. Johnson, you just need to do this, this, and this. Really? Hey, could you check this? Because I sent it in already. Actually, we did receive it. It takes 3 days to do this and that. So check your email tomorrow and then get back with me. I'm like, okay. So I checked my email the next day, got back at the chat. It remembered me.
What? Okay.
Yeah. I asked it. I was like, hey, I'm back. And they're like, do you have a previous chat? And I'm like, yeah. And we started talking again. Like they give you the little confirmation number, the case number. Apparently, I'm guessing it's been tied into their AI system. So it went back, had the transcript of the chat there, and we continue the conversation. And it's, don't worry, you should see changes reflected in your next update. And we're all good. And then at the end of it, it's like, are you satisfied with this response? I was like, yes. And then it said, hold on, I'm going to transfer you to a real person to verify. So a real person got on and was like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good. Everything was fine here. And the guy's like, yeah, we're just verifying that everything is okay. I'm a real person. I just want to verify that your whole chat session was fine and you got everything you need. I'm like, yeah, cool. Bye. Blew my mind that all this person was there to do was say, did the computer screw up? You good? Okay. And that kind of scared me a little bit because it separated me from wanting to talk to people.
But you know what? That's a good point. I heard that before. Think about AI, especially in healthcare. I work in healthcare. How do you get these AI agents that can respond to people, and then but still have a human being in the loop, some kind of way to verify if it was handled properly or not? And
Mhm.
so I think we're still going to have this kind of back and forth, because if it wasn't handled, and then they'll probably ask you questions like, where wasn't it handled properly? So they can troubleshoot where the AI went haywire, right? So they can fine tune the algorithm a little bit better. But yeah, I've heard cases where the AI is not the final arbiter of if the response was, if it was well, if it did well. It's not going to pat itself on the back. Oh yeah, I helped Mr. Benja. I'm going to get AI right now. The human beings got to give you the grade. And so,
Yeah.
no, I heard that before. That's interesting. Yeah, man. I'm like you, man. I had experience with AI chat, but I hate doing it. But it went well. The product I own had crapped out on me. They're supposed to send me another one. They said just send me the list, the record number of your account. I did that, and they said, "Oh yeah, you're due for another one." So was this satisfactory? I said yes. They texted me the next day, said it's on its way. I said okay, great. They gave me a tracking number. Great. Guess what? It showed up. I said perfect. I didn't get a human response though to ask how was my experience, but I did
Yeah.
see that okay, it was all AI. So yeah, man, we're gonna have, you're right, not
Yeah.
just kids, but I think we're gonna be interacting more and more with AI in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And the
Matter of
scary,
fact, we might be AI, Mr. Benja. Uh-oh.
but no, a scary part is scams. It is scam season, and now with AI bots sending emails that can be a lot more customized because you're just pumping a machine like, hey, talk to this customer about this thing and use this kind of language. The AI can figure out how to talk to a certain person to fleece them from their money.
Hmm. I
So that,
definitely can see that.
yeah, watch out for scams and phishing and all that. Get educated, people. I don't want you suffering a scam by the hands of an AI bot.
What are your thoughts about Pokemon Go? Did you hear about that one?
And then Pokemon Go, and this is nothing. It's like, speaking of all this data, all these companies. Niantic is the company that made Pokemon Go, and they had another big game that they made. And basically, Pokemon Go was about geo tracking, where you could walk around, pick up Pokemon, capture them, become the best trainer in the area, and it was a whole physical location kind of thing. Reading from where did this come from? Live Science. How Pokemon Go covertly captured all your data for years to train a massive AI model. Basically, whatever money they were getting from actually using the app is dwarfed in terms of what they were using to get all the, your geo tracking data. In a post on its website, the company revealed that it has drawn data from more than 10 million scan locations worldwide, with users adding 1 million more scans every week. And so what this basically does, if there's an area that doesn't have a lot of pictures or that needs more geo data, they could just send like a Charizard or a Squirtle over there, or Pikachu or any of the other Pokemon. I'm trying to think. Diglett. There you go. Throw a Diglett up there. Nobody ever uses him. So hey, maybe I can get one. And you got all these kids and people running out there with their cameras and everything, taking pictures and getting geo data on that area. So all these people just did all the work for whoever is buying all this geographic and photo geocoded data.
But you know what? Did we not suspect that was the case? I
We
can remember at the
yeah.
time, just there's a lot of data they're collecting. Any company any corporation that's trying to collect a lot of data, what's the real business model, right? Especially if it's almost free.
Yeah.
Like, and someone said if they don't charge you for it, then that means you're the product, right? So
Yeah.
Facebook, everything was free. Facebook, connecting with your friends, it's free. It's not free.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that we're seeing more and more of. And the more importantly, I think also businesses are wising up too, man. They're like, look, and there was another story. Did you see the other story? They're at the limit of what AI they can trade AI on now. It's sucked up everything it can off the internet. And so now the only things that are opened up for more data is probably proprietary or private data, right?
Mhm.
That sit behind corporations. And you think corporations are going to give that data up easily? Dog. Nah, the licensing
Yeah.
fees. You want a piece of this data? Called
Yeah.
licensing fees.
So yeah, we have the data, but we also don't have extremely sophisticated ways of going through the data. So there's still a lot to be mined. But no, I know what you're talking about, and the data
But
too.
yeah, the bio data. That's Shout out Sentiment. We got that. We got that dog. Oh, let me, James, go ahead and edit that out. No, just kidding, James. Keep that in. We keep that in. Anyway, so yeah, man, I think there's gonna be a lot of different things that are gonna change how we look and view data in the future and how we license it out. But what I don't know, man, with AI and algorithms change. Like I think I talked to you about this. Have you played with those AI agents yet that can basically sit on your laptop and order your lunch or get you tickets to Milan or stuff like that? Have you played around with those yet?
No, you sent out that link, and I did actually look at that link. I know you don't think I look at any of your links, but I checked that one out, the Anthropic one.
Yes.
Yeah, and the others like that can set up all these different chains of cause, effect, result in terms of getting AI to do things like, hey, AI,
On your
order me a
computer.
pizza. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm very interested in at the moment, but I could see myself at some point just stringing together all these technologies and putting it all together, making my own little server maybe in my house. And yeah.
Okay.
Turn on the TV,
Yeah.
do this, do that, and send mom an email.
Exactly. I think that's a more useful case because I'm seeing all these co-pilots, Gemini and Bing. It's like it's helpful, but it's okay, cool. It's summarizing information that I would have found on my own. Even LinkedIn, lately LinkedIn has got their little AI agent. I do a lot of sales and communicate with folks. So it'll tell me like this is how this business makes money. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But is that helpful or is it just giving you a little assist? Whereas the AI agent, in my opinion, that's just like a game changer because it's literally doing something that I would pay someone to do.
So
To me,
have you looked into that Motion app? I hear
no, what is
talked
that?
about talked about a lot. It's called Motion. Basically, it's an AI executive assistant. So you just start throwing in, I need to do this week. I need to do this week. I need to have lunch with this person somewhere between Monday and Friday, and we only eat at these hours. These restaurants are open. You just start throwing in all this information, and it basically figures out from what you've told it, hey, here are some options. Here's what I think we can do. You know what? You have a good 5 hours here where you can work on X project, and then tomorrow you can work on the other project. And it uses AI, and you're just throwing it information. Yeah, I'm going to be out of town this day. I'm going to not be here. I'm going to be over here. I'm going to be doing this. I have class that day or whatever. And you can, it seems pretty interesting, but I have not tried it yet. I'm just hearing a lot of noise about it.
Okay, yeah, I might try it. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I'm always leery of something taking over my calendar. It's like, oh no, what's all this crap? I wake up on Tuesday. What's all this? I wasn't prepared for that. But I will try it out.
I would definitely use it in parallel to my current calendar and planning system just to see if it's giving me something I can deal with. Oh, it suggests I talk to Sarah on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. Sure, I'll change that around.
I love it. Mr. Benja, man, shoot. Man, I love it, man. I think we talked about a lot of good things about technology and what's happening in the world. Anything else happening for next week for you?
I'm gonna find an air fried turkey somewhere and take a bite out of it. It's gonna have a bite mark out of the turkey just right there.
Yeah. I'm about to give me a honey baked ham, guys. So if you guys don't know, this is turkey season. So I definitely want to shout out everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. And definitely we love to talk to folks about all the great things we're doing on Thanksgiving and the great work that you guys are all doing out there to stay engaged. But yeah, Mr. Benja, this has been a great conversation, Mr. Benja. So look, everyone.
Before you say, I want to let you know, I'm thankful for you and this podcast. I'm just saying it, man. Oh, I'm giving thanks right now. Gobble, gobble.
Mr. Benja, same here, man. Thankful for you, all man. Right. We've been running this podcast. We're about to head on our 200th episode, guys. Can you believe that, Mr. Benja? Golly, we've been crazy doing this for a minute. I know. Everyone, look, if you like what you heard, please subscribe and comment at Show vs. Business on X, Twitter. That's what we still call it. Threads, YouTube, and Instagram. Listen to us at Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Want to check us out more, see some of the stuff we write about, go check out our website, Show vs. Business. Mr. Benja, have a good one.
Peace.